A lot of movement early on here from our double leg left leg.
Let's start with a man who doesn't just work hard, but reinvents himself again and again, Dave Batista. You know him as a WWE superstar, and of course from Hollywood blockbusters. But back in June 2010, after walking away from WWE, Batista showed up at Strikeforce with a surprising announcement. He wanted to fight in MMA. And he knew one thing, it wasn't for the money. He told the world, "I just want the experience. I don't need a career out of this. I just love the sport." Batista had already been training in martial arts for years, even during his wrestling days, so this wasn't some wild stunt. This was real. And 2 years later, in 2012, he stepped into the cage for his debut. His opponent? Vince Lucero. Not some random pushover. This guy was a seasoned journeyman with over 40 pro fights under his belt. Maybe not UFC caliber, but a veteran all the same. Don't let the belly fool you. Lucero wasn't showing up for a payday. He came to fight. Batista entered the arena looking like a monster. 260 pounds of pure muscle. No smile, no showmanship, just stone-cold focus. His corner hyped him up like a pack of wolves. "This is your moment. Smash him. Finish him. Tonight we celebrate big." But Batista didn't need the hype. His face said it all. This wasn't WWE anymore. This was war. And when a man that size knows how to fight, well, you're about to see why everyone in the building felt the chill.
For many, many different reasons, not only the physical contact, but what you ask your body to do.
In Tampa, training with Josh Rafferty, who was a contestant on the debut season of The Ultimate Fighter, so he's got the right people in his ear.
Vince Lucero wasn't backing down. He walked in with the kind of swagger only a man with 40-plus fights could carry. In his head, you could almost hear him saying, "All that muscle won't save you, big guy. Don't let the belly fool you. I've got fight in me. When the bell rings, I become a beast. This is my world, and you're about to find out what experience really means." During the face-off, both men showed respect. Vince looked calm, maybe too calm, like it was just another day at the office. But deep down, he knew what was at stake. This was his moment. The world wasn't tuning in for him. They were tuning in for Dave Batista. If Vince pulled off the upset, he'd have a ticket straight to the big leagues, maybe even a shot at the UFC. Batista, on the other hand, wasn't distracted by any of that. His eyes said it all. Locked in, focused, a man with one simple mission: smash whoever was in front of him. He didn't need validation, didn't need a UFC contract. He just came to prove to himself that he could fight for real.
Batista's got his hands up high. Short right hand.
Sarah comes in right away with the right hand and another right.
Then the bell rang, and surprise, Vince came forward first. He landed some heavy punches, and for a moment, Batista looked rattled. The crowd gasped. Was the Hollywood star about to get humbled in his debut? This wasn't WWE anymore. This was the sharp sting of real punches, and Dave had just tasted it.
Straight left hand, another left
big
hand.
Big right and left by Lucero. He's landing.
Right leg kick.
Another big left hand from Lucero.
He's throwing great kicks. There's a right hand by Batista. Left hook, right cross. Another left hook, right cross. Batista looks to clinch up.
But Batista wasn't folding. They tied up against the cage, exchanging short shots. That's when Dave seemed to think, all right, I'm not going to outbox this guy. Time to go back to basics. He went for the takedown and nailed it.
Interestingly enough,
he shoots right in for the takedown and he gets it.
Big takedown by Dave Batista.
Suddenly, the fight flipped. On the ground, the world belonged to Dave. Vince tried to push him off, but it was like trying to move a steel wall. You could see the frustration. He was trapped. That's when Batista unleashed. Heavy ground and pound, punch after punch. Vince could do nothing but cover up, surviving the storm. The ref had no choice but to jump in. First round TKO.
Now he's throwing punches. A couple of those to the back of the head.
Has to answer. These punches are coming in from both sides.
He's going to stop the fight if this keeps up.
This might not last much longer.
Maybe 2 or 3 more punches. That'll be it.
But here's the twist. Batista didn't look relieved. He looked angry, as if to say, that's it? Already? I was just warming up. Vince, on the other hand, tried to complain, yelling about shots to the back of the head. Maybe 2 or 3 snuck through, but come on. When you're curling up and exposing the back of your skull, what do you expect? And then, out of nowhere, Vince started barking like some street tough, shouting lines like, "You ain't man enough for me." But everyone watching knew the truth. He wasn't fooling anyone. The man had just been crushed, and now he was trying to save face. It was almost sad, almost embarrassing. But it made one thing clear. Batista wasn't here to play games. Even after taking that kind of beating, Vince tried to puff up his chest. But let's be real. Dana White wasn't picking up the phone after that performance. Still, once the dust settled, Vince showed some class. He shook Dave's hand and admitted, "All right, you got me." In the post-fight interview, Batista even said he was willing to do it again. And honestly, after the way he fought, that didn't sound like a bad idea at all.
So when do you think you want to fight again? Something you want to do right away, or wait a little bit, or what are you thinking?
No, I want to fight again, for sure. I think, it was a matter of getting this first one out of the way. The guys will tell you I was just so nervous, I had so many butterflies coming out. But, I think it got the best of me a little bit.
I think you handle butterflies pretty well.
I'm better than that show tonight.
The problem? That first fight turned out to be his only fight. Hollywood came calling, and Batista went on an absolute tear, starring in hits like Guardians of the Galaxy, Blade Runner, and Dune. If acting hadn't taken off, I think we would have seen him step back into the cage. But even with just one fight, he earned respect. He didn't need gimmicks, scripts, or safety nets. He fought for real, just because he loved it. And that alone makes him a legend in my book. Hats off to Dave. Now, the next guy, he took things a whole lot more seriously. Bobby Lashley didn't just test the waters, he dove in with purpose. His move from WWE to MMA wasn't a publicity stunt. It was calculated, built on a foundation of real credentials, amateur wrestling chops, military discipline, and a burning drive to prove himself as a true combat athlete. And guess what? He delivered. Lashley racked up an impressive MMA record, 15 wins, only 2 losses. No fluke, no sideshow. This man was legit. One of his early fights set the tone. His opponent? A loudmouth named Mike Cook. The guy was cocky, talking big before the fight, acting like he was about to expose Lashley as just another fake pro wrestler.
My fighting style is boxing/submission fighting. And fighting Bobby Lashley, I know he was on TV as a wrestler, that's fine. He will his pants once he gets hit. And they're gonna be very fast. It's gonna be tap, tap, tap on his chin, and it's gonna go straight to the ground, and he's gonna be on his back, I'll be raising my hand. I will finish this fight in one of 2 ways. I will either make him tap out from punches, I will knock him out, or I'll throw a third one in for you guys, and I'll submit him.
But Bobby? He stayed humble, quiet, not the trash-talking type. Very different from his WWE persona.
My name is Bobby Lashley. Fighting style is ground and pound. Well, I know he's going to brawl, so I'm going to bring it to him the same way he's going to bring it to me. It's going to be a very intense fight. We're just going to battle, brawl, and someone's going to drop. This fight means everything for my career. Every fight that I have means a tremendous amount for my career. I have to keep moving forward. I have to keep winning, and I got to keep moving up the ladder.
Still, when you looked at him, he didn't need words. At 250 pounds of muscle, he looked like a real-life action figure. Cook eyed him like prey, confident he'd show the world the difference between a real fighter and a WWE star. Right before the fight, Lashley refused to touch gloves. That set Cook off. What's up with that? Come on, then. And Bobby did.
Any questions for you, Bobby? You want to touch gloves, touch them now? Let's get it on.
No touching gloves from Bobby Lashley.
When the bell rang, Lashley came out like a storm. In seconds, the fight was over.
Bobby Lashley and Mike Cook in this heavyweight battle. And right away,
He's going for a guillotine.
Lashley going for a guillotine.
He let it go. Oh,
Look at that. Look at this. Bobby Lashley coming out. That's it.
The message was loud and clear. This wasn't WWE, and Bobby Lashley was no joke. Mike Cook couldn't believe it. 1 second he was talking tough, the next he was flat on his back. Afterward, in the post-fight interview, Bobby made it clear to the world, don't underestimate him. I'm not your typical pro wrestler with a goofy gimmick. I'm the real deal.
Talk a little bit about there was no hand tapping. You seem pretty annoyed by the mask that Mike Cook was wearing.
Well, yeah, I'm here for business. Everybody comes out there with this wrestling thing and tries to make fun of the wrestling thing. I'm real. You know, I'm coming out here to fight. If they don't want to fight me, they can play around. If they play around, I'm going to knock him out or choke him out. And that's what I did today. Choked him out, made him pay. Now he can go put back on the mask and have fun with himself.
And from that point on, everyone knew he meant business. One of the most memorable moments of Lashley's MMA run came when he faced off with Bob Sapp. On paper, it looked like a fight between two absolute monsters. But in reality, there was only one predator in that cage, and it was Bobby Lashley. Bob Sapp looked terrifying. Huge frame, crazy muscles. But anyone who followed MMA knew his reputation. He wasn't dangerous to skilled fighters who understood how to neutralize raw power. And Lashley proved that within minutes. The second the fight began, Bobby shot for a takedown, dumped Sapp on the mat, and started raining down bombs.
Is Sapp coming at Lashley? Lashley shoots, tries to pick him up, and down. He gets him down on the canvas. Bob Sapp holds the head in, and is Lashley going to cracking him with the right hand. Now the left hand's come down. How about this? He takes him right down where he doesn't want to be.
It didn't last long. Just 3 minutes in, Bob Sapp tapped out to strikes.
What he's got to do.
Yeah, the crowd would be much happier if they got up on their feet and just blasted the daylights out of each other.
Yeah, Sapp is taking a little bit of a beating here.
Very heavy.
He's tapping. He just tapped.
Did he tap?
He did tap. Yeah, he did tap.
But the referee didn't see it.
Yeah, I think he just tapped.
Let's see how much more punishment. Now he taps. That's it. He's had enough.
In MMA, that's often seen as the ultimate white flag, a sign of quitting. But for Sapp, that was nothing new. Tapping to punches had basically become his trademark. Next, let's talk about Bobby's fight with John Ott. By that time, Lashley already had 6 pro bouts behind him. He wasn't just a wrestler trying out MMA anymore, he was becoming a legit fighter. And when that cage door shut, you could feel the difference. From the opening seconds, Lashley came out like a wrecking ball. He scooped up Ott, slammed him so hard the cage rattled, and immediately went to work.
A lot of movement early on here from Ott. Double leg Lashley! Shakalaka!
The intensity was wild. Like this
Fight meant something personal. The way Bobby dropped hammer fists, you'd think Ott owed him money. Round 1 was all violence.
Popping out like a Christmas tree on the back there. Big right hand from Lashley. Oh, Ott's been caught now!
Ott, carry your weight the entire time.
Ott took a clean forearm and another one to the side of the left eye. Bobby Lashley is unleashing hell, and again a tub-thumping elbow!
Lashley pounding away, Ott trapped underneath, probably praying the ref would step in. You could almost hear his thoughts. Is this guy trying to finish me, or is the ref just going to let me die here? That was the power of Bobby Lashley.
Just taking incredible punishment. This is hard to watch. Ott trying to move his head, throws up the hands.
Once he got on top, it wasn't a fight anymore, it was survival. The referee almost seemed to enjoy the spectacle as much as the crowd did. Round 1 was all Bobby Lashley. Pure domination.
Lashley has just pictured up the face here of John Ott, but John Ott somehow still surviving. Cut, bruised, blasted. Oh, that could be it now. Ott taking punishment.
But when round 2 began, the picture changed. Lashley's giant muscles came at a price. The explosiveness was fading, and his tank was clearly running low. Across from him, John Ott looked oddly ready, like he'd accepted his fate, almost as if he was thinking, all right, man, just take me down again, pound away, and maybe the ref will stop it quick. Still, Bobby pressed forward. Around the 2-minute mark, he scored another takedown. From there, it was Lashley's world once more. This time, he cut Ott open with sharp elbows. Not the same thundering violence of round 1, but enough to leave damage you wouldn't wish on anybody.
Bludgeoned and bruised and puffed up.
He's in a bad position now because he let Lashley get the north-south, which leaves your head wide open. So unless you got a really good submission game from here or to hold a guy down there and hit him when he doesn't want to be held down and doesn't want to be hit.
That said, Frank, could Lashley go for a submission from here?
He's got a topside armbar. He's got a reverse. He's got a Kimura Americana on the other side. If he really gets crafty and rolling to a knee bar from this position.
Then came round 3, and that's where things got interesting. Lashley was gassed. He shot for another takedown, but stuffed it by Ott.
Angles, he's hitting and moving off, and Lashley looks a little confused. Yes, Ott's got some game. Ott's got some gusto.
Suddenly, the two had to trade on the feet, and for the first time in the fight, Ott landed some clean shots. He didn't look like a helpless wrestling dummy anymore. This was his chance to turn the tables.
Overhand right and scores! No! Don't get sucked into the double leg! And he backs out.
Got game, and he can throw these big haymakers and hit him one time, knock him down and give him a flash knockout.
They've got to know that Lashley is ripe for the picking here!
But halfway through the round, Bobby muscled up just enough to drag Ott back down. Only this time, there was no savage ground and pound. Just a heavy body laying on top, buying time. Lashley was done, running on fumes. In the end, the judges handed him a decision win. But it was clear, carrying that much bulk, Bobby wasn't built for 3-round wars. Still, that first round alone reminded everyone just how dangerous he could be. For his next fight, Lashley made adjustments. He came in leaner, sharper, aiming to fix his stamina and avoid another gas out.
Bobby, how you feeling for this fight? And obviously you've taken some weight off also. And tell us the reasoning behind getting the weight off.
Well, you know, I just went through a different kind of training camp this time. I wanted to be a little bit leaner, and I'm actually going to make my way down to 205. So here's the process starting. I mean, I think I weighed in a little bit under 240 today. I'm moving quicker, moving faster, a little bit more cardio, so I feel good.
Across from him was Kevin Asplund. From the opening bell, Bobby went to his bread and butter. Another clean takedown.
Strong individuals here. Lashley shoots in for a single, gets that takedown.
But Asplund wasn't easy prey. He used the cage to work his way back up, showing grit and some real fight IQ. It didn't matter, though.
He's been working some subs with Josh Barnett. Asplund gets back to his feet.
Walking up that cage, smart move.
Lashley was relentless. He dragged him down again, and this time dropped heavy ground and pound.
Trying to trap that arm with his shin.
That is a big, strong man to have on top of you, pounding away. Still inside control, Bobby Lashley. 1 minute 35 remaining in this first round, set for 3.
Asplund bragged a lot about his jaw, but
he's truly getting tested as Lashley just thunderous. Big, booming meat hooks. Hands like car batteries.
By the end of the first round, Asplund's face was a bloody mess. Round 2 started, and Bobby wasted no time. Another takedown.
Drops down for a single. Bobby Lashley wants the takedown. He'll get the takedown.
there all day.
But here is where he showed growth. Instead of just smashing away, he switched gears. Smooth transition, smart technique, and then snap. He locked in a key lock submission. Asplund had no choice but to tap.
A couple of cuts on the forehead of Asplund. Bobby goes that far arm again. Look at the tapping out. He does so. Kevin Asplund taps out. Second round. Bobby Lashley with the victory. Give it up for Bobby.
Which WWE star do you think could actually survive in MMA? And who'd get wrecked? Drop your pick below. And for even crazier knockouts, hit that video on screen. Don't miss it.